Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of Lions of the Republic, the Wrestling Republic New Japan podcast. We're your hosts. Woo!
Woo! Yes, finally. This time we have more confidence since I think last episode was the first one. So I guess we were like, how do we do this?
Yep, I mean, maybe at some point in the future we'll release the highlight reel of all the recording attempts that went wrong,
Yeah.
but that can be if this episode or a future episode gets like 500 views.
Yeah.
Speaking of views, thank you so much to everyone who viewed, who reviewed, who commented on our last episode, who gave us feedback, whether you know us, whether you don't. We really do appreciate it. Gave us a lot of thoughts and a lot of really interesting areas to build on. So hopefully you'll enjoy this episode just as much, if not more. And my goodness, do we have a lot to talk about, don't we? So I think why don't we start with, while I've been sitting at home here in the UK, what
Yeah.
have you been up to these last few days, Suki?
I have been so I went to Budokan for the G1 finals, I think 2 days ago, like whilst time recording this. So it was a last minute decision where I had my things saved up for my pro wrestling things. I have my other, I guess, allowance and stuff saved up for, I guess, some guy sells its gear. And then so I used all, yeah, my pro wrestling money to get a Shinkansen and get tickets to uh a Budokan. And then my oh my, what a God, my throat hurts because of Budokan.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not all the wrestling you've watched this weekend, which
Uh,
is
this morning, by the time recording this, there was G1 special in Roppongi Hills where I have managed to see Tanahashi in lingerie. Fuck, I don't know. I don't know.
okay. That was not the sentence I was expecting to come up your mouth
Don't
when
worry.
when you said. So we've got the G1 Climax final to talk about. We've got Roppongi Hills to talk about. I thought we might want to talk about RevPro's anniversary show that's happening today and tomorrow on the days of recording, so the 20th and 21st of August, because there's a lot of New Japan related stuff happening on that show. If we've got time, we might even have a quick chat about the latest news regarding the Kota Ibushi situation, because there was some news that came out here in the US. Well, not here in the US. I'm British, but here in kind of on English speaking wrestling news. So let's get into it.
Let's get into
G1 finals.
you.
First of all, congratulations to the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. I should probably say this show will contain spoilers. Congratulations to Okada, second G1 win back to back, fourth G1 Climax win, and also congratulations to him and his wife on the birth of their child. So we hope he enjoys his paternity leave. It's probably why he isn't booked for many of the shows. He is booked on Royal Quest. He's coming to the UK in October. I'm
Yeah.
sad that I won't be able to go and see this because I'm going to be back studying and back working, and it just happens to be the day that I've got a really important thing coming up that day. Otherwise, I would have tried to get a ticket, but yeah.
Uh,
So, Kazuchika Okada, your G1 Climax winner. What a match!
what a match.
My goodness.
Holy shit. Oh my God. Yeah, a thing that I would like to know is that the match reminded me of the match where Kenny Omega versus Hiroki Goto when Kenny won the G1, where Kenny busted all the past Bullet Club members' moves, like the Bloody Sunday, I think he busted out. The
Hmm.
Bloody Sunday, Styles Clash, and Kota Ibushi set out Powerbomb. And then in this match, spoilers, but still got yours. Uh, Will Ospreay, the day before, he said that I have seen Tanahashi beat Okada. I have seen AJ Styles beat Okada. I've seen Kenny Omega beat Okada. And what a pop! We threw the cheering shit out the window. And then so first, yeah, I had my camera on, so I couldn't see that well because
Hmm.
Instagram moments and then when when Will Ospreay did the Tanahashi rope jump, thing to the top rope, I was like, oh shit, is he gonna do that? That's a bit different from how he goes up the ropes. And he hits a high fly flow. I'm like, oh shit. And then I was like, oh shit. And then he did the 1, 2, fuck. And then next he got the Styles Clash on. And then the whole arena erupted. Budokan probably sent out waves through Tokyo because when he like got that on and then he did the boom, I was like, oh fuck, oh shit, I need to bleep this shit out. But yeah, and then he hits V trigger next, right?
Yeah, you did the V
That was
trigger
it.
into the ropes.
Yeah, he did the V trigger into the ropes. And then what I was so mad about, like I guess behind Osprey losing, was he didn't get the one winged angel in, because if he did that, that would probably one of the best moments in G1 Climax history.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was also hoping that Ospreay was going to take the G1. I didn't think he would because heel versus heel, Gaijin versus Gaijin at Wrestle Kingdom is probably not the way that New Japan wants to end their 50th anniversary year. But Will Ospreay going for that one-winged angel, it made so much sense that Okada was able to counter the one-winged angel. Because how many times did Kenny try to hit that move on him? How many times do you think Okada in has practiced escaping the one-winged angel? I was watching that match, and I similarly I wasn't under any COVID restrictions. I was just kind of in my own living space, and when the high fly flow Styles Clash V trigger hit, I was like, oh whoa, hang on, they're telling like two stories here because obviously they had Ospreay drawing on all the moves of the people who have beaten Okada. Interestingly, he mentioned Jay White, but he didn't go for the Blade Runner, which is the one move in recent wrestling history and kind of modern day New Japan that's consistently been able to beat Okada. But obviously, with Jay currently holding the title, that probably would have been a bit complicated if Ospreay had beaten Okada with Jay's finishing move rather than his own. But what was interesting for me as well in that story is that Ospreay kept hitting all these finishing moves and not getting the three. But in all of their matches in 2022 so far, Will Ospreay has kicked out of one Rainmaker. He's kicked out the Rainmaker once, but he's never been able to kick out of it twice. Okada's kicked out the Hidden Blade, but he's never kicked out of the Stormbreaker because he's only had the Stormbreaker hit on him once, and that was after Okan interfered. So the story is set up perfectly for the match where Ospreay finally gets his win back over Okada using his own moves to do. He takes a Rainmaker, he kicks out of it, then he hits the Hidden Blade, hits the Stormbreaker, 1, 2, 3. Because I still believe that Shingo Takagi is going to be the first person to kick out of the Rainmaker. No, not Rainmaker, Stormbreaker. Goodness sake, guys, separate your move name, please. I'm tired.
Oh, good. I thought that was gonna be some sort of thing when Osprey named it the Stormbreaker, because I saw when he named it the Stormbreaker, I saw like there was gonna be a quick separation because Rainmaker, and then that's gonna start the rain, and then Osprey's gonna hit the Stormbreaker, which is gonna break the rainstorm. I don't know how to
Hmm.
explain it, but
Yeah, I'd never actually put that together until you say that now, because like Osprey's not really someone who has used a ton of storm motifs in his move set, in his ring gear, in anything. Like if it were Mark Andrews, who used to UK indie guy who used to use the ring name White Lightning, then maybe that would make more sense. But I've not realized that until now. Ah, you learn something new every day when you're working with Suki. That's amazing.
yes.
The other thing I wanted to say about, well, I mean, I could probably fill the whole episode talking about Okada and Ospreay having the match of the year so far for me. But I did want to say maybe was this the beginnings of a Ospreay babyface turn, or Will coming back to being more of a good guy, do you think? Because his promo before the finals against Naito, his promo after the match, getting kind of called out by David Finlay, where's your fighting spirit gone? Is that all you've got? Are they going to slowly turn Ospreay back to the side of good again, do you think?
I think he's gonna become, I guess, like some. He's gonna have the fighting spirit face, but like I think the type of face that he's gonna be, it's not like his chaos days where he's like, "Thank you for all the fans and everybody." I feel like it's gonna be more of like the Tokon face, the fighting spirit face, where he's like, "I'm gonna give him my all, and then I'm gonna, I guess, try my best every day, and then I'm gonna put these big banger matches, and then I'm gonna, I guess, I don't know how to explain. It's kind of like Ishii, kind of like a
Hmm,
Ishii, yeah,
got ya. Yeah, because I think United Empire, though they are heels or they are villains, they are bad guys in the West, in the kind of Western understanding of it, uh, means that, oh, hang on. Suki has unfortunately frozen on my screen, which is less than ideal.
oh shit,
Uh, great technical difficulties.
all difficulties are shit, or I'm gonna,
Yeah,
oh shit.
hang on, you're back now.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Oh, okay. It's
You're getting it live, folks, live and real. This is not some super high tech production. This is two people plus a couple of others who give us a hand doing this live.
yeah, and I'm the guy that doesn't know anything about tech, and then I'm supposed to overlay this thing. So I'm sorry for
We
having.
we make it work. We make it work. Don't worry. We'll yeah. So I mean, United Empire aren't the most heelish of heel factions. They're not as villainous as Bullet Club or Suzuki Goon or Old Chaos. Actually, that's a close comparison. Like Old Chaos, like heel Chaos. We're arrogant. We can be nasty,
Yeah,
but we kind of sort of have that core of honor, of not cheating, of still respecting the traditions of the sport.
yeah. So yeah, that's I guess why many Japanese fans like yeah, United Empire despite them being a heel faction because I
Hmm.
guess they don't cheat, they honor the sport, but they're like but they're arrogant. Yeah, so that's why you see like many people with like Okan cosplays and then
All hail.
yeah, all hail Okan. Yeah, did you know that I seen like three great Okan cosplays at Budokan?
No, I mean those must have been hot to wear because like that robe he wears must be fairly thick, and then the hat as well. Yeah, do check out Suki's Instagram for all the pictures of amazing cosplayers. That I actually thought the Naito cosplayer was actually Tetsuya Naito. That's how good it was.
Oh yeah, he's like a unsung hero of New Japan events. So like the spot where he I guess I don't know if you guys remember, but I guess in Dominion,
Mm,
yeah, I guess the Ace Austin spot was Naito, where Naito
mm.
hits and then see, I guess Hiromu pops up like the
Yeah.
stakes. He does that every arena where he goes to, and then he does like an event. And then so I guess so yeah, right now on Twitter there's yeah, a lot of cosplayers in front of Budoking and then the fake Naito doing this and then we're just doing
That's brilliant. Yeah,
thinking,
no, I've really enjoyed kind of seeing how passionate fans have been about this G1, about kind of everything that's happened with that, and kind of to cap it off with what will probably be one of the matches of the year between Ospreay and Okada, and then the really solid Okada versus Tamatonga match, and then the similarly incredible Ospreay versus Tetsuya Naito match. Like, what a run! And as we'll come on to later, Will Ospreay's very busy weekend of having a very strong run is probably going to continue.
yeah. Speaking of Will Ospreay, I was so mad when Will Ospreay lost, where I think after the 1, 2, 3, I didn't speak a word for 3 minutes. And
Yeah,
then when he hit the 1, 2, 3, what I did was I was so fucking mad. I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm a bleep fest this shit. It's like, oh, fuck, 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 fuck.
Once again,
I was
Suki
so
gets us demonetized.
that's the one time, yeah. So I almost got a tear in my eye because of Will Ospreay lost. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I've only really come to appreciate since I've got to know you and kind of some of the people who are more familiar with the Japanese fan base,
fuck.
how over Will is in Japan, how popular he has become. Like in my home in the UK, Will is the face of wrestling. Everyone knows like Drew McIntyre and Will Ospreay are probably the most famous wrestlers to come out of Britain.
Yeah.
And he's really popular here. Like, look at his Twitter and look at all the kind of British wrestling fans he's retweeting who are wishing him all the best and praising him for his performances. But I didn't know just how incredibly over he has become with Japan. Has that been the case ever since he was in Chaos, or
Yeah,
is that
he
more of a recent thing?
so I guess he was one of the top three juniors in K yeah, when he was a junior in KO. Yeah, the top three were like Hiromu, Kushida, and Ospreay. And then
Hmm.
Ospreay was one of them, and then Ospreay had this big fan base. And then now he grew into like a big buff boy. And then so he and then since he became more of a striker, more I guess how should I say it, more strong style spirit, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
And start to got like attracted to his style and Will Ospreay and United Empire as a whole.
yeah.
So yes, yeah,
Yeah, I think the last thing I'll say on this is just it's quite notable how his style, when as he's evolved it, he's now incorporated more of kind of some tributes to Japanese legends who don't get as many tributes. So Marufuji's hook kick he does the Sasuke special every now and again. He's got the Liger bomb that he can pull out on occasion. Like and of course he's got a really nice frog splash, and various other moves in his move set that Japanese legends have popularized.
yeah,
One last thing on the G1. We've talked all about Osprey. I mean, big match Okada obviously came out, and something I really liked about how it built on Okada is that Okada couldn't beat Osprey with the tombstone, German suplex, Rainmaker 1, 2, 3 sequence. He had to bust out everything.
uh,
The Inoki Enziguri, the Emerald Flosion, the Cobra Twist Flosion, the Rainmaker. Like everyone, a lot of kind of Western fans are joking that Okada is cosplaying Inoki for the 50th year. Like, he's doing the he's doing the he's doing the Enziguri, he's got the robe, he's doing his best Inoki. But I think that match, one of the first times for me, I saw like Okada as a spiritual successor to Antonio Inoki right there.
yeah,
And that made me very, very happy because Okada deserves it, I think.
yeah. Okada does. He's been carrying this company for how many years now? I guess. I think he's the next Tanahashi. Yeah,
Easily.
yeah, easily. Yeah,
The man's 34. He's 34. He has so many years left in him. Tanner's currently 46 and still putting on banger matches. So, and then you've got like Osprey is 30.
yeah.
We have got these people, provided they don't get hurt for a long time yet.
Yeah, Will Ospreay's still 30 and then he's still putting out these banger matches where my prediction is he'll go a long way through New Japan and then even if he goes somewhere, he'll still be remembered
Hmm.
as a big talent in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay, so that's the G1. So Roppongi Hills. I don't think there's been a ton of coverage this morning on what this morning UK time on what's happened there. So give us the updates.
So Roppongi Hills, not that much happened, we see, but we have seen. I'm checking the things on my phone real quick. Sorry. So we have seen Master Wato. Yeah, I think one of the matches were Master Wato and Tanahashi versus Taguchi and oh, fuck Yano. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Where at the end of the match, okay, it's not that serious, but I think this is something that should be said. During the closing times of the match, so it was Tana versus Taguchi, and then you know where it's going with this. So Taguchi gets stuck with this thing where Tana's like trying to cover him up, and then Taguchi, because he's Taguchi, he pulls down his pants, and then we see his bare naked ass. And then there's this big like 30-second roll, and then I don't know if this was a work. I don't know if this was a shoot. It looked like a shoot, but when Taguchi was trying to roll Tanahashi down, he got his hands like this, and then I think he accidentally like pulled his tights down, where it resulted in this. Oh fuck, I gotta turn this down.
So I have seen this picture, and so for those of you who can't quite see Suki's screen just now, I'm going to describe it for you. Basically, picture the glorious flowing hair of Hiroshi Tanahashi, um,
It's right here.
and then yeah, Tana in his underwear with Taguchi sort of staring up at him like, "Oh, Daisy."
Oopsie daisy. So that's what happened at Roppongi Hills. But after that's not the only thing that happened during this majestic time. Uh, so Wato, after the match, he grabs the mic and said, "Hey Taguchi, I wanna have a meet. I want to have a rematch with the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions." While Taguchi was like, "I gotta go to the locker room. My pants are down." And then where Master Wato was like, "Get your ass over here." And then he continuously pulled it down and pulled it up and pulled it down and pulled it up. And then during the promo, he got his like ass flopping out. Where so at the end of the promo, I guess so Taguchi, yes, I guess Wato was like, since we can't be 69 anymore, we can still go for the tag team titles. And then Taguchi was like, just 69. Well, guess what? Our new motto is front and back or some shit. I don't. It was he described it as front and back, and we uh fall down 6 times, and then we come back 9 times, I guess. And then they challenge
Okay.
Akira and TJP for the IWGP Union Tag Team Champions. So I think that's a new, I guess, title storyline coming up next.
Yep, that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I've got a comment to say about Akira in a second because he's been having a little. 'Cause obviously he wasn't in the G1 and he wasn't in any of the undercard tags, so he's gone and had a little kind of indie run in the UK and in Europe, so which had some exciting ramifications. But yeah, Taguchi and Wato, the tag team formerly known as 6 or 9, versus United Empire's TJP and Francesco Akira. Sounds like it'll be interesting. I can't see Yui dropping the belts here.
Yeah.
I think, especially with what might happen at Rev Pro this weekend, which I'll come on to in a second, I think they will want to keep some gold on some New Japan gold on the United Empire, especially with how keen they seem to be on Francesco Akira. Do
Yes.
you think 6 or 9 takes this though?
6 or 9. I do. I think my prediction is no. Because I guess since I think they haven't had their first ever defense yet too, and then it kind of seems foolish to have the guys who took away the titles from them, who are, no offense, but far more superior than Taguchi and Wato, where Taguchi is like, I'm gonna pull out my ass, where and then I think it's not I think it won't be that surprising if 6 or 9 doesn't win and take home the titles. But I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. See, one thing I would like to know is that I think recently on an NJPW like variety show episode, they had two episodes where Tenzan was, I guess, a counselor for t tag teams, where
Hmm.
Taguchi and Wato came in, and then Taguchi was like, "See, I kind of want to split up because I guess, see, like to be honest, we just teamed up just so I can be 69th tag team champions," and then Taguchi started crying. So they had this like whole segment on them trying to like see, I guess this couple
Mm.
called Taguchi and Wato just trying to get their
I mean,
yeah.
I'd love to watch that. I wish I got to see some more of that. But yeah, that should be a fun match. It'll be really good to see Akira and TJP back in, and the general rest of the junior division because the juniors really do kind of fall out of focus during the G1. So, but I guess that's what we've kind of got the Burning Spirit tour for with it. Of course, it's rumored main event of Kushida, is who was involved in some of the undercard tags at the G1 final, one of them at least, and then we've got then whatever comes up with juniors at the UK shows and in the new tours.
See, I just want to hear TJP's music again. Bum,
Mm.
bum, ba-da, ba, ba, ba-da, ba.
It's so nice to listen to.
Yeah.
Before we get into the new tour announcement and then probably finish up with a bit of Kota Ibushi, I just thought we should probably talk Rev Pro. So today, August 20th, and tomorrow, August 21st, is Revolution Pro Wrestling's 21st, no, 10th anniversary show. Congratulations to them. And they've got a ton of New Japan talent, United Empire talent in particular, coming over and running their show. So we've got, here we go, and breathe. Will Ospreay is defending his undisputed British heavyweight title twice this weekend. Today, on the Saturday, he's defending it against Speedball Mike Bailey in a rematch 5 years in the making. That's going to be an absolute banger. Obviously, Speedball is the X Division champion. He's been on New Japan Strong a few times. He's very, very talented, very good high flyer and striker. That promises to be a very strong match and definitely will be interesting to see how they've evolved since they last wrestled in 2017. I think Ospreay wins this one because on Sunday, tomorrow, we might get some further development in the Will Ospreay keeps losing all his big matches storyline, because Will Ospreay might actually be losing the Revolution Pro Wrestling British Heavyweight Championship.
No.
So this isn't guaranteed, but he's being challenged by Ricky Knight Jr., who's basically the ace of Rev Pro, who isn't the kind of the babyface ace, and he's beaten RKJ so many times that he says that this match is the last time he will let RKJ challenge him for the belt. It's set up perfectly for their. Ricky's probably the biggest star Rev Pro have made in a little while, other than Michael Oku, who I'll talk about in a second. So this might well be Ospreay losing the Rev Pro belt, so then he can focus on defending the US title in New Japan, or to just kind of add further storyline development to Will Ospreay kind of losing all his big matches
Yeah.
recently. But it promises to be a very good event. They've got amazing chemistry. Do check it out if you can. RevPro are running a 2 week free trial of their streaming service this year,
Fuck yeah.
but it's going to be something that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Furthermore, from the United Empire, Aussie Open are defending the New Japan Strong Tag Team Openweight titles. Crowns up, boys. They're defending against the tag team called Destination Everywhere, who are basically RevPro's two best juniors, Michael Oku and Connor Mills.
Oh.
That's going to be very fun. They've wrestled a couple of times before, and I imagine once again Aussie Open are going to keep the gold for this one because they're definitely someone we're probably going to see in the World Tag League, and they're one of the most popular Western tag teams or Gaijin tag teams that New Japan have. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fast paced, lots of flips, lots of dives. This is Oku, Mills, and Kyle Fletcher are just going to be bouncing around the ring, and then Mark Davis is just going to be dropping people on their head. Going to be super fun. Finally, New Japan talent Yota Tsuji and Shota Umino in a strap match. These two have been feuding on and off for most of the year, actually. They had a very fun match at High Stakes, which is the show where Will Ospreay basically murdered Michael Oku for 45 minutes, um, which is probably a match of the year contender, that one. But they've been feuding on and off. They were kind of forced to team together. Now they're feuding again because they don't get on, and Yota's annoyed that Shota's getting all the hype, whereas Yota's arguably actually a bit better. I said it. I said it. Okay, I think Yota is secretly a tiny bit better than Shota, but they're going to probably beat the heck out of each other. But they'll probably be coming back from excursion soon.
Yeah, so I am not that familiar with British wrestling, but I love the style. I've seen many videos on New Japan World. So I'm kind of excited to see where I can watch it. It's on Rev Pro streaming service, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Rev Pro on demand. You can access it through their website.
Oh, okay.
So Rev Pro did confirm that the Aussie Open match and the Young Lion strap match will be on New Japan World.
Oh, okay. So I guess that will be fun. But
Yeah,
oh god, wait, what was I gonna say again? Oh, so first off, I agree that Yota Tsuji is a better young lion than I guess wait, who was the other guy's name again? Who was he?
Shota.
Oh yeah, Shota, yeah, Shooter. So if you guys have anything to say, fight us. So
Please don't actually fight us. I am weak and would probably get beaten. Like,
yeah.
and also please don't send Moxley after us. Please, no, 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 no.
No, no, no,
Because
no, no.
obviously Shooter's got Moxley on speed dial. Like,
Just don't, Moxley.
Dad, they're being mean to me on this podcast.
Yeah, yeah, and then so Ricky Knight Jr., he is a part of the Knight family, so like Paige and
Yeah, so he's so young. He's like mid-20s, and he is honestly probably one of the most underrated wrestlers in the world. He's very, very, very good. I know he is, as you say, the a member of the Knight family, or as kind of some British fans call them, the Knight dynasty, because it makes them sound more epic. So he's definitely one to watch. He's doing appearances in Progress. He's doing appearances in Rev Pro. He's probably someone WWE are going to have their eye on for the new NXT Europe brand because he is very, very, very good. He's a made main eventer in the UK. He's very over.
oh okay. So Ricky Knight Jr. and then the first day he'll be facing who can
Speedball,
oh
Speedball Mike Bailey.
Speedball Mike Bailey. So who
Speak.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
So Ospreay is gonna be defending his title 2 days in a row, right?
Yep.
Oh shit. Oh
So he wrestles Naito. He wrestles. No, he wrestles Juice in a really good match. He wrestles Naito in a match of the year contender. He wrestles Okada in what is probably the match of the year. Gets on a plane, flies to the UK. Tonight he wrestles in like 3 hours. The show starts and he wrestles Speedball. Gets a night, like a day's rest and recovery, and then he goes and probably gets put through a table half a dozen times by Ricky Knight Jr. because they always, in their matches, they always go through tables. Like Ospreay does this Oz cutter through a table, Ricky Knight Jr. does a Canadian destroyer through a table as one of his signature spots. So that will happen.
some people say Kota Ibushi is gone. Let's just put Will Ospreay up there with Kota Ibushi. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, since you mentioned him, should we talk about Kota?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So this is reporting that came out yesterday from Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter. So I'm going to caveat this with two important statements. Number one, Dave's reporting about New Japan is not as accurate as it used to be back when he had the elite in New Japan who he's friendly with. Second of all, Dave tends to get New Japan stories wrong these days, so he could well be wrong. But the headline story is that New Japan locker room talent don't think Kota is coming back to New Japan. They think he's out.
I want to see where he got that shit. I want to see where he got that information.
Yeah,
Who's
we don't, obviously he doesn't disclose his sources, but there you go. That's the headline.
that's the headline? That's only the headline. So like, is it just New Japan locker room talent reveals Kota Ibushi's not coming back?
Yeah, they don't think he's coming back.
You don't think he's coming back? And then that's from Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer.
the guy that the Young Bucks names their springboard set out pile driver after.
Yep. Yeah, so Dave Meltzer, him of the Meltzer driver, him of the star system. He has had it from some of his sources that knew that Ibushi's not getting back coming back. Now, before we take his word as gospel, he has recently got a couple of really big New Japan stories hideously wrong. So he claimed that there was talent like really unhappy on the verge of quitting the company over how Jay White was being treated, when in reality Jay White was staying in the US so he could get his residency. And he claimed that the Shibata match at Wrestle Kingdom was a shoot, when then Voices of Wrestling reported that it was actually a work, and just the only people who knew that they were going to do an actual match were Shibata, Narita, the referee, and the president of New Japan. So Dave Meltzer claimed that, like, oh my God, Shibata went off script, when in reality, it seems he didn't. It was just a really well kept secret. So, Dave, yeah, Meltzer's reporting on New Japan has definitely fallen in quality since the Elite left. I'm not, we don't know who his sources are in New Japan, but we do know he was kind of really friendly with the Elite. Still, like, he has Kenny on his podcast all the time. So, like, links.
I'm gonna say this. Dave Meltzer should get his shit together and actually do his fucking research and then report his news. So
Uh,
that so that he wouldn't get all this heat. Voices of Wrestling, they did the Shibata thing, right? Why can't Dave Meltzer do it, right? Links.
uh, I mean, maybe it's a difference with the kind of Western wrestling media and the Japanese wrestling media, but we've had a lot of problems recently with AEW, and I'm not going to get into everything that's coming out about AEW right now because the people over on Take It to the Table will be covering it. So go watch their episode where they talk about it. Go watch Soul, Ignacio, and Chaos talk about it, and whichever guests they bring on. But
Bring us
you
on.
know,
Forbidden
it's
Door.
it's a complicated mess, kind of Western wrestling reporting.
So Dave Meltzer so reported that currently. So what I'm gonna give you the update on Kota Ibushi on Twitter on what he's tweeting. I'm gonna do this now. It's not fucking on the spot, boys. So Kota Ibushi. All right, let's go to his Twitter. Yeah, how about that? Yeah,
That's it.
Dave Meltzer bullshit. All right, all right. So I have despised Dave Meltzer from the beginning of time. So don't ruin me. So if Dave Meltzer sees this, I do not fucking care. Go fuck yourself. All right.
Christ, you're gonna have to bleep this out so bad.
I have to bleep this one so bad, but I don't know how to. Okay, okay. So Kota Ibushi recently tweeted one of his old beach wrestling matches.
Mm.
I guess when he was, I think probably high school around the turn my background up for a second. It's Kota Ibushi recently tweeted this. That's his beach wrestling match with his friends.
Jesus, that was a nasty German suplex.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit. Yes, and then so Kota Ibushi, he yes, he replied to Tokyo Sports, I guess, tweeting about Okada winning the G1, and then Kota Ibushi tweeted, yeah, congratulations for real, and almost 10 months. So no fucking way, Kota Ibushi. There's nothing on Japanese media. Let me tell you something. There's nothing on Japanese media saying that Japanese New Japan, yeah, like locker room talent is saying, "Oh, Kota Ibushi's not gonna be in New Japan anymore." So Dave
Yeah.
Meltzer, I don't know where you're getting your shit from. I'm a fucking like quote you on, when this comes out on Instagram. I'm gonna quote you. I do not care. So Dave Meltzer, tell me where you get your shit from, all right? Sorry,
I mean,
Allison. Sorry, big boss boy, but I just gotta say my shit, all right?
okay. Yeah. of course, it's worth reiterating at this point that this is entirely our own opinions. Our opinions do not represent the views of Wrestling Republic management, because I don't know all their opinions on this. They may agree, they may not. Please don't get mad at us, boss. So, right, now we've dealt with Kota Ibushi. Well, no, we've not dealt with Kota Ibushi. The only things left to comment on, I think, are the next tours. So you said that they announced the next tour details at the Roppongi show today?
Yes, not at the Roppongi show when we were discussing what time we were gonna
Oh yeah, so slightly before.
pay because the train was delayed. So, so, uh, the next tour, Burning Spear, which is gonna have their big match in Kobe World Hall,
Hmm.
where it's rumored to have, as Full mentioned, Kushida versus Taiji Ishimori and maybe the junior tag match. And
Yeah.
then next they have the Declaration of Power show, which is not a tour of any kind, it's just a show in Ryogoku Arena. And then next they just announced this they are, I think, returning to that. I don't think this is a returning show or a new show, but since it says 22, I think this is a returning show. So I'm fucking basing my opinion to. So it's called Battle Autumn 2022, where it's gonna start from, I think, October 14th, and it's gonna end on November 5th at Edion Arena, so Osaka Prefectural Gymnasium, where, and what's funny is 2 days before they're gonna have a house show in the arena next to Edion Arena. So that is the next tour that's gonna come out. And then currently on the New Japan website after that tour, it's a historic crossover where we
Mhm.
have yet to get any news from. But
Before we, oh sorry.
yeah,
Also, Royal Quest is on the 1st and 2nd of October, so New Japan coming back to the United Kingdom. So far, they've announced that Okada will be appearing, so he will have finished his paternity leave. Yep. I mean, Okada's very over in the West, in the UK especially. He did do some matches in Rev Pro, so it'll be nice to have Okada and the rest of New Japan over there. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Ospreay defending the US title
yeah,
because, Will in the UK means he doesn't have to fly over the Atlantic a million and one times.
yeah.
And yep, that's probably
Currently
going
I'm
to be
messaging Ben for, I guess, for the aforementioned Dave Meltzer ransom. So
okay.
early apologies. Early apologies to Ben Allison, the owner of Wrestling Public. Please don't fire me. Maybe please don't fire me. This is just a little reminder that I despise Dave Meltzer. So Dave,
Okay.
yes.
I will bear that in mind and not mention his name ever again. So, yep, they've got Okada coming. What's interesting quickly about Royal Quest is that they are running two shows in the UK. They're not doing it like the first Royal Quest where they did one night in a big arena. They're doing two nights in a small arena. It seats about 3,000 people.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yep.
I think we should mention the yeah, about the Wrestle Kingdom and New York City shows. Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we should probably bring that up as well. So, two shows in the UK. All we know is Okada's coming, and I imagine Osprey and Zack will probably get big matches, maybe against each other, but yeah, they'll want to feature the British
So
talent.
at the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax finals, it was announced that Wrestle Kingdom will be coming back to its one-day format, E10
Hmm.
Yon, January 4th, and then they would have the New Year's Dash event on E10 Go, January 5th. And then also they announced that they will be going back to New York City after what the fuck happened with Wrestle Dynasty. Uh so New York City, oh God, I am one of the most uncoordinated people in the entire world, so
So
apologies.
it's all right. You're not even the least coordinated person on the WR team or even on this podcast. You have no idea how many tabs I'm juggling right now. Uh,
Really.
Go
So
for it.
I'm currently opening up the New Japan Pro Wrestling 1972 page
Hmm.
where Rumble on 44th Street hits New York City on October 28th, where it will be in the Palladium Times Square. I do not know how to pronounce that, but probably
Palladium.
okay, Palladium Times
Yeah,
Square, thank you very much. Where probably many, I guess, since it's New York City, since they had to cancel Wrestle Dynasty, I don't know what happened with that, but maybe a lot of big names are gonna come
but,
to
I
New York
mean,
City, I guess.
and I think this is where I can actually mention, because I forgot to mention it when we were talking about him earlier, Francesco Akira and possible crossover opportunities. So if they're in the US, obviously New Japan has their relationship with Impact and their relationship with AEW. Francesco Akira at Rev Pro Summer Sizzler in Manchester scored a clean pinfall win over Impact X Division champion Speedball Mike Bailey. So Akira could well challenge for that title there.
I want to see that. I want to see that. So yes, I guess Ace Austin when he was in Super Juniors, he lost it to Speedball Mike Bailey, right?
Yes, he did. He lost it uh in an Ultimate X match. I would love to see a New Japan Ultimate X
Oh,
just to see what Hiromu Takahashi would do if given if given permission to do a Hurricane Rana of 10 feet in the air, because you know he would do it.
yeah,
But
I don't want to see the Impact wrestlers' reaction to whatever Hiromu is gonna come up next for his entrance gun, because probably he's gonna come out with like lines coming out some shit. So
yeah,
yeah,
worth noting though that show might actually feature Bullet Club's American members, so it'll be good to see Chris Bay and Ace Austin again. They've been Bullet Club in Impact have actually been having a pretty rough time of it at the moment. They lost this big match. It was the Good Brothers and uh, Beyblade. No, Beyblade. That's Jay and Chris Bay. Whatever Ace Austin and Bay. Oh yeah, the A and Bay connection.
oh, yeah.
They lost to Honor No More. So Bullet Club have actually not been having a very good time in Impact.
Wait, who's the A and B connection again?
Ace and Bay. They call themselves the Ace and Bay connection.
So, wait, they're calling themselves the A and B connection.
I think so.
Wait, I saw I that reminds me of like the tag team Bailey and someone else did. It was called the Hug and something connection or some
Oh
shit.
yeah, the Hug and Boss connection.
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
Hug well,
Sasha and Bailey. But yeah, it'll be nice to see, hopefully, Bullet Club getting some wins back on the board, especially with talent like Ace Austin and Chris Bay in their back locker. One other thing that we keep forgetting to mention, all hail the Great Okan, who is participating in Keiji Muto's final match in Osaka.
let's go. I am sadly not going to that show, but he will be with Keiji Muto as the Great Muta this time.
We get to see
It's a
two weird ring walks.
Yeah, literally the battle of the greats, the great Okan and great Muta with Nosawa Rongai. We don't know what their match will be, but all we know is that Great Okan and Keiji Muto will be standing side by side with Nosawa Rongai, which is gonna be a little side character there. Sorry.
I
Yeah.
mean, but yes, that's going to be really exciting to see. It's going to be really wonderful to see Japanese national hero, noted anime fan, and legendary mystical vampire, Great Okan.
Yeah, today he
Yeah,
changed his little braid to a little teddy bear today. So it's like
yeah.
those doing
I
this.
mean, I don't know, Suki, how aware you are of how massively over Great Okan is in the West. Like, purely because of how committed he is to the kind of persona, and also the fact that he has amazing matches and kind of his actions as national hero Great Khan. Like
What?
he when he and Jeff Cobb had their matches on AEW, they were getting they got such a strong reaction, primarily because they're both very good wrestlers. Jeff Cobb did Jeff Cobb things, but also Great Okan, the internet loves him.
And he's like a He's probably the new ace, the new internet ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then he hasn't been here for like 5 years even, and then
Mm.
he's now saving little children on stations and then offering them pancakes, and I guess see I think most of the cosplayers here, they're little girls, they're little girls who cosplay Great Okan, and then they're like walking around like doing this shit. I'm like, oh I'm like, I want to
But genuinely, it's amazing to see kind of how positively people have taken to him in Japan and beyond. Because when he started out kind of doing the whole vampire gimmick, everyone was like, "What is this? A comedy gimmick in my serious wrestling promotion?"
get a
But
comedy gimmick.
he's got himself over. All love to Great Khan. All hail.
Yeah, what a wrestler I want to see in America is Evil. I want to see him get booed out the building. I want
Yeah,
to see.
because you have no idea. Because Tetsuya Naito is probably the most over Japanese wrestler in America, based on when he appeared in Ring of Honor. So the guy who betrayed Naito, he's going to get booed out the building like he's Vader.
How dare you betray the ungovernable charisma? How dare you betray our hero?
So I think that pretty much covers everything. I have no idea why the time limit hasn't come up on this one yet, but
Yeah.
and great, Suki's frozen again. Um, Hopefully this hasn't completely mangled on the recording. If it has, we can fix it, I hope.
I
The
hope.
other thing to mention is the Will Ospreay and Aussie Open continuing there. We're just deciding to have four and a half style, 4.5 star style matches for fun. Tour of the West. They are, yay, Suki's back.
Yeah.
They're wrestling on AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. They are against Death Triangle, so the team of Park, Penta, and Ray Phoenix, who are two trained luchadors and Park. So that's going to be lots of flips, lots of dives, lots of weirdness. Worth noting that Pac is, or Park, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is the AEW All Atlantic Champion, and Osprey is the um,
United
A
States.
United States, and also Aussie Open are the strong openweight tag champs. So if any member of United Empire takes a pin, that's a possible title challenge from the Death Triangle. If Pac takes a pin, he probably won't. It will probably be Penta who gets pinned if UE win, which they probably will.
Yeah.
Um, if Pac takes a pin, whoever pins him is entitled to challenge for the All Atlantic.
Whew, what a episode. We have so many things to talk about.
Yep, and I feel bad for you for having to edit it.
Yeah, don't worry. No, it's good. No, it's
Yeah.
okay. I need to bleep my shit out anyway, so it's okay.
So next episode, I'm not going to be here, unfortunately. I've got just some things in my personal life that mean I'm not able to record at our usual time. Um, so we have a possible mystery guest host who we won't reveal. We
Who,
won't reveal because we don't actually know who it is yet.
who will it, who will it be? It just might be me alone in my chair, in my room. It might be Big Boss Man. It might be Soul. It might be Chaos. Or it might be Ignacio.
That would be entertaining to say the least. I think to start that show, I'd just go Dave Meltzer.
Dave Meltzer.
No. So thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this second episode, and if you did, please leave us a like and a comment and some feedback. We do read all your feedback, whether you DM it to us, whether you DM it to us personally, whether you DM it to the new Lions of the Republic Instagram account at Lions of the Republic _WR. Follow us, please. Um, Whether you DM it to Wrestling Republic, all the feedback does get passed on to us.
Yeah.
So we'll take it, we'll learn from it. We're very grateful for it. Please do follow Wrestling Republic on YouTube, on Instagram, Twitter, and check us and subscribe on YouTube as well, because our colleagues have some amazing shows coming up.
Yeah, Clark
We've
and
got,
Coke's Republic Ramble, which is
yep,
a show. They surpassed our, yeah, I think they surpassed our viewer too. Yeah.
not that we're competing against Clark and Kobe, because they are
Not
very lovely people,
yeah, they're
and They deserve it, but if
You,
we could get some views, that would also be lovely.
yes, of course.
So
We aren't starting to do beef with you, but if you want to,
we're not here to compete. Okay, Suki might be here to compete. So do please give us a like, do please drop a comment, do please subscribe, follow, switch on those notifications so you can see the amazing content that Wrestling Republic puts out. We do this all for free. This is for you. So with that all said, let's do this.
let's do this. All right. Ich,
Ich,
ni,
ni,
san,
san,
da.
da.